You can probably hear behind me chants of "Stop Putin, stop the war." That is the demands of hundreds of people who've come out here, Ukrainians and their supporters, petitioning outside number 10 Downing Street to ask the UK government for support. The person who can best do that, Vlad, thank you very much for talking to me. Just explain why you're here.
We all are trying to support Ukraine in the war, because currently Ukraine is facing bombings which are all across Ukraine. People are dying and buildings are destroyed, cities are being destroyed, and all of that is going to have to be rebuilt, which is a long process. As well as that, we already had this war for already 8 years, and we are trying to stop it, because Putin won't stop just in Ukraine. He will go further than that. And our country was keeping Europe and other countries just from Putin, from his hands.
Now, I know that you left Ukraine 3 years ago, but you've got friends, family there. What have they been saying to you this morning?
Of course. So my friends have been saying that they are terrified. However, my family was trying to stop us from being nervous, because there weren't that many bombings in my city, because it's quite far away from the coast with Russia. So I was living in West, so they didn't face that much bombings, although there were bombings and many people have been dying. Many people are packing up their bags to get out of the country. There are many traffics next to borders like Poland, Lithuania and other countries. They're trying to get out, save their lives, and some European countries just don't want to let them in because they are refugees and they don't want to have them. But honestly, I think that currently they should support us as much as possible, because Ukraine is currently fighting off and keeping hold of Russian army.
You're talking about the appeal to European countries. We've just heard from the UK Prime Minister. What do you want the UK government to do?
We want the UK government to give us troops, as well as air forces and airstrike defense systems, because the bombings are terrifying and they are killing a lot of people, which is terrifying. They are just civilians. They didn't do anything wrong. And some people in Ukraine are actually for Putin, which is really strange, because they have been facing bombings and other things, such as their family have been killed, maybe their relatives, friends, and they are still supporting Putin. For what? This war didn't have any motivation for it. We didn't do anything wrong for Russia, and we've never been a part of Russia. So I don't know why he's trying to get Ukraine's to his hands.
And Vlad, just finally, if there is an intervention from the West, what do you think is going to happen?
So the worst case scenario is that he will get most of our east part of Ukraine, but I don't think he will be able to get our west part of Ukraine, because we're gonna keep hold of it. Like, honestly, if he gets the Kyiv, I think that's gonna be really fatal for Ukraine, because we've been an independent country for a long time already, and this is 21st century, and he's trying to grab Ukraine into his hands, which is basically like nonsense. He's trying to create USSR. I think he feels like a god, because he has so much power in his hands. Even USA President Biden doesn't have that much power as Putin does.
Vlad, thank you very much for speaking to us. Of course, an awful lot of raw emotion here. People just trying to process what happened, what developed in the very early hours of this morning.